green Protoss player, who is Dunne from the team X Gamers. And just on a side note, purple is the best color to be a Zerg because it color coordinates very well with Zerg, Carapace, colors, and creep.
That is very true.
Just throwing that out there.
So you like pink for everyone else and purple for Zerg. That's the way it sounds.
Exactly. That's how it shows. I mean, pink is pretty okay for Zerg too. It blends in pretty nicely with the colors here on the drones, but purple is the most seamless color.
So it looks,
Alright, so
we have the
pretty early scout probe, actually.
That is very early. I think he may just be confirming that he's not going anything all-in-ish, any sort of super early pool. He did throw the pylon down at his natural, so I assume we're going to see either a Forge Fast Expand or a Nexus first. But I think he just wanted to confirm that there wasn't any sort of 6 pool or 10 pool, just to make sure it's safe for him to actually do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare to see a 10 pool on this map.
Absolutely.
With this matchup, but I have seen it before, so, it's not out of the question.
Well, I mean, it's similar
to... I've seen it succeed, but it's possible.
It's similar to Game 1 of Dunne and Focus, where Focus took advantage of the expectations of the map and was to do a very cheesy sort of all-in bunker play. So I think Dunne is just making sure that he isn't doing a very similar sort of all-in play, taking advantage of the map, and he has that probe hanging out down at the natural to deny that as long as possible.
Yeah, and that's one thing. When I was watching some of the PvZs and casting some of the PvZs earlier in the evening here, we didn't see that choice, actually. We had just the scout probe sort of harassing, the spawning pool versus down here where the hatchery is going to go. So it is I think it's more beneficial to have your probe down here to sort of deny that
Absolutely.
expansion instead.
The longer you can force that from coming, the kind of more ahead you're going to be, especially with any sort of expansion-based build. We do have 4 links coming up, nothing super aggressive. It's really just going to use those links to clear out that probe and get that hatchery down. We have had a Nexus first, followed by a Forge, and now we have a Gateway coming up for Dunne, and he does have a cannon protected behind that Forge and Gateway, so he should be pretty safe for the time being. And we do have the natural expansion up for Listal.
Yeah, and that was a standard time. 21 is a very standard time to be getting that natural up for Zerg, so nothing, too crazy out there. It looks like he's going to go and start taking down these rocks here. It's pretty typical to see the Zerg either try to do some sort of aggressive 2-blaze play when they see that fast expand, or to take a quick third.
Super fast third, yep. I know a lot of people don't actually like this map a ton for Zerg, only because the safest third is you have to destroy with the rocks, so you can't go with the super fast third against a Forge Fast Expand. But he does at least have enough lings to try and take that down, and maybe when it's down, it will be a good time for him to take it.
Yeah, and I think he is. I mean, the amount of Zerglings that he's investing to it, I think he is going to be going for a fast third there. So we do have some Zealots who are going to go up and try to pressure, though. He's going to see it, though, since he has that beautiful Zelnaga watchtower there in the middle.
Yes, but that
poor Zergling is going to die.
He did his job, though.
Quickly. He did.
He did not die in vain.
He held his tower.
Although he's going to need to pull those lings off those rocks if he wants to deal with this. Oh, there we go. He pulled enough lings off to deal with this Zealot. Very smart move. Didn't slow down his destruction of the rocks. Oh, and that Zealot is on regular move. It wasn't on attack move. So he didn't kill one Zergling with that Zealot.
Yeah, and those lings had speed too, so I think it's going to be just fine.
So we do have Warp Gate being researched. We don't see anything else coming down for Dunne. He has 400 minerals, so I'm surprised. There we go. There is the Stargate. We still have a drone in Dunne's base, though. So if he's a very good chance that he is going to see that Stargate. And
yeah, interestingly, he hasn't seen it yet, though. I was sort of, so the timing was good on that.
Yeah, wow. He was so close to seeing that. Had he just went a couple inches over, he absolutely would have seen that Stargate.
And I think he's going to go in there and see it now.
Yep, he definitely saw it.
There he goes.
Yep, I even
We
saw
got-
him click on it. He knows that it's a Stargate coming, so we're going to see an Evo chamber coming up, which is already coming up, and he's going to drop some spores to deal with anything, and it wouldn't surprise me if he gets a couple extra queens.
So now this is sort of one of the things that I do, we were sort of talking about how Listal is always sort of ahead. Before he even saw that Stargate, he had his Evo chamber building. So he knows the timings of when things are happening, so he's not, reactionary. He's just sort of knows his timings, he's ready for the timings, and then he prepares, accordingly. So he did just drop a Roach Warren. So he's probably going to be, protecting his base with some spore crawlers, some extra queens maybe, and then he's going to have a ground army to deal with all of those gateways that he saw as well, since we do have 4 gateways.
It looks like he sent his drones over to his third way too early, and now they're doing some long-distance mining. So
he
a little
also
bit.
has a little group of lings in the main of Dunne here as
Oh,
well.
look at that! How much did he do?
So rather than, not terribly. He's still Protoss is still up 46 workers to 40.
Yep, he was actually.
Around a drone.
I don't think he got a worker out of that because he only has 1 worker killed.
But it did prevent this Void Ray from heading right up to the main.
Yes, and he did see that he's
like
getting
he
a Void
wanted
Ray
to.
first.
Yeah, versus Phoenix or something like that.
That Void Ray is coming up, but we do have a good amount of Spore Crawlers. And we do have some Proxy Pylons coming up on that lip of the main. So it looks like he's going to be able to warp up right onto that lip with that Void Ray. I actually really like this move. There's not a lot of protection in the main. How many roaches do we have in production? We have 10 roaches in production. So he's going to need to get those roaches out very, very quickly to deal with this push. That is a good amount of zealots in there, and we have 1 queen about to fall, and he loses the Void Ray. Wow, he left that Void Ray in there way too long against that Spore Crawler.
I think the Void Ray, it would have been better off, just sort of charging up or something on the refinery.
Absolutely.
Or, the extractor and doing something like that, but...
And it looks like... Oh, we do have another Warp In and another Void Ray up here, but we already have a ton of roaches out. It looks like he is bringing more roaches, bringing a Spore Crawler and a queen from his natural. So... let's see if he is able to hold this. I think he's going to be able to hold this without an issue, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I think
that Void Ray is starting to take hull damage. Those Lings are just cleaning up those Stalkers. And the Void Ray is going to make it out alive. Oh, and we do have another Void Ray coming up. So, he hasn't killed a worker yet with this Void Ray warp in play. And those roaches are just going to ignore those Void Rays since they can't shoot up and take out those pylons, so we have no more warp-ins there. And we have a whole bunch of Lings going towards the natural of Dunne, and they get right into the main. Wow, he moved his Zealots, and they get in, and they're going to be able to do a good amount of damage against these... Oh, this worker's got away. He did not kill 1 worker there either. He should be able to kill off some Zealots, but I think the Zealots are going to be able to clean this up.
Yeah, we do have a Hydra Den, so, if Dunne does keep going Stargate play, he's going to be pretty prepared for that with the Roach Hydra Ling.
And there we go.
So these Lings are still be annoying here, but...
We had the stop command micro, hold position micro, taking out a couple workers. Not a ton, but he is being a giant pain in the ass, if anything. He's keeping Dunne in his base while he is able to get his upgrades up, while he's able to get his next set of units up, and he's starting to pull ahead in supply. And getting his macro hatchery up. So he definitely is... Those Lings are doing a good amount of damage, but the biggest damage is it's being annoying as hell.
And we do see a robotics facility and Twilight Council going down. Probably Blink Stalker, if I had to guess.
That would make sense. And the Void Rays are being useful, and they take out the rocks to get his third up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Listal's already sort of planning on taking a 4th, actually.
I'm actually surprised he hasn't taken a 4th yet. We do have the Lings running in to scout to see if there is a 3rd. The 3rd is about to be created. Actually, denied the 3rd, killing the worker.
Ooh, nice. Alright, those Lings will probably get cleaned up here, but not too big of a deal. But it's forcing a, just another probe to come out, and we do have Link going down there.
And we do have a 4th coming up for Listal.
Alright, Infestation Pit. So, yeah, so basically he's got his Hydra Den, so he's ready for that if he needs to. Hydras do great against gateway units, which Blink Stalkers are. And then he's still staying one step ahead by getting that infestation pit. So he's going to be able to get his 3/3 upgrade.
He's starting to pull so far ahead in supply. He has
Yeah.
51 to 110. In terms of the worker supply and army supply, he has an army supply of 85, whereas Dunne only has an army supply of 56. So Listal is way ahead. He was able to hold off that Void Ray play and get way ahead. He's going to be able to take out that Forge, which is currently upgrading, and I didn't even see what upgrade he lost. It went down so quickly.
Yeah, so, you know, and then really, rather than just going in for the kill there, he just got a little bit of a snipe off and then is pulling back.
Exactly. Just a little bit of a poke, do some damage, get out, stay safe, because he knows he's ahead. Or at least I'd hope he knows he's ahead. So he's really just going to kind of poke in a little bit, keep his lead, and just continue to macro up and get a giant unit composition.
Well, and Hydras aren't really that fast either, so, you know, he wants to be a little bit preemptive in pulling them out of there if he needs to.
Absolutely.
They can easily be pulled back.
We do have some roaches attacking on the side, and meanwhile, the rest of the army is sneaking into the natural, taking out everything there. What a genius two-pronged attack, and we do have a full engagement here. It looks like the roaches are doing a fair amount of damage. Some of the Hydras aren't able to really get in there. They're scooting about the back. Pretty good force fields, though, and it looks like the Protoss is going to be able to clean this up, but he lost a couple gateways, and he took a good amount of damage. And with that said, Listal is still a good amount of head. So.
Well, and he also lost the Void Rays there. I think the Void Rays were on move command, trying to get away from the army, and they sort of just ran right by the Hydras, and the Hydras just sort of killed them.
Just melted them.
Yeah.
So Listal is ahead, and he is rallying a ton of roaches right into the base of Dunne. So it's non-stop roaches coming in. We do have a Spire coming up, which I assume is going to be turned right into a Greater Spire once it completes, and we are going to start seeing some Mustache Lords.
Yep, and there's the Greater Spire. There you go.
We also have,
that's good.
We have the roaches harassing the third and picking off as many gateways as they can, really cutting down the production of Dunne. Oh, and he has Burrow. He has no observer. What an excellent idea. Heal up his roaches, pop them out. He doesn't have Burrow move. So it's not like he's going to be able to run them away, but he's going to be able to just drop them, do some damage, pick them up. What a genius idea that is.
So frustrating.
We also have a whole bunch more roaches rallied right into the natural, so those are going to be able to take out... We do have an Immortal there, but he should be able to take out that Immortal and then take out a fair amount of workers there. He is warping in 2 Stalkers to try and handle this. Those Stalkers are going to die fairly quickly. The roaches do have an upgrade advantage also. They have +2, whereas Protoss only has +1. It looks like the Protoss decided that the only way I'm going to win this game is to attack. So we're going to see an engagement right on creep, and the roaches are doing so much damage. The Stalkers blink away, but that leaves the Zealots and the Immortals kind of exposed. Listal, again, at still 185 supply, is able to just keep producing units non-stop. He's resupplying faster than he can lose them. So he has an excellent surround on these units. Looks like he's slowly going to whittle the attack by Dunne down. He's just able to keep producing and keep producing units.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of that production is coming down from just having double the worker count. And at this point, Listal is almost, getting a few too many workers.
And there's the GG.
95.